They did ban away the Ahri as one of their mid takeaways. They will ban the Lee Sin as a jungle takeaway. I feel like jungle's left open right now. Kind of like Viego.
Yeah, this is always the Viego spot.
Yeah, this doesn't feel phenomenal, but I mean, alternatively, you could even go. I mean, it depends really what Gideon wants to come out, because if you start getting deep in the trenches and there's a limited pool, they go for the Orianna as kind of a denial, but they do have the ball delivery system, the traditional one of the Alistar, which is that old school.
Traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in my day.
Back in the day, this was the combo. Orianna, Alistar was really good. Rel makes sense. I think as one of the few engaged supports left, even though I think Lehends is fine with the matchup. And then mid lane, I could honestly see it being the Hui in this situation. Chovy has played it a few times before. I think your Victor mention also pretty valid.
It has to be like one of those, right?
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
It has to be something that can burn, that can build the Andres.
Yeah.
And he will go for the Victor.
Okay, so does have that sort of insane damage. Oh my lord.
There you go.
Yeah, this is the thing, when you start to predict jungle picks this late and Fearless, it just really comes...
Win 7. But it's Fearless. It's a different situation, you know?
Yeah.
Going up against Varus Alistar,
There's context.
You know? Yeah, a lot of context here, but either way, we'll see if it works out, and if Atlas is happy at the end of the day. Let's jump into the Rift for Game 4. Here we go, Game 4. As I said, I wanted Atlas to be happy. He's never happy when Jhin is selected. So not going to happen here tonight. But Fisher is going to take a bunch of damage. And that means he's got a back, which means that Gen G can kind of just take wherever they want. And they'll go into the red buff side jungle.
Yep, got some vision down. Able to establish that. It will, fortunately, be the lethal tempo Varus. I was a little concerned for a moment as we were loading in. You need the DPS, I think, is very true in this composition. I think for Nongshim, they have a really bulky front line. They have 2 carries who scale pretty well, but 2 carry compositions into like a Nocturne Rel. Those carries have to be in the right position. If they are, I think, great front to back, right? I think it's very obvious that that's true. The front line of Gen G isn't going to be as durable, but there's a big if. You know, do you see this kind of swap situation? You saw both top laners trying to help out with a little trade here.
Yeah. I mean, lane swap, so.
Yeah, Keen definitely able to contribute more by being ranged half the time.
King is just dashing in their general direction.
I'm like, I'll do it.
I have a shield.
You want?
I mean, it's Orianna, so at the end of the day, it's not like she's suffering all too much outside of health damage. She's at least able to farm. Canyon came in here trying to steal the blue buff, and he might still be able to, but not going to happen.
And they both actually smited there.
Yeah. And now, I mean, Duro comes over, he's level 1. There's nobody in the bottom lane, so he can just do this. And Canyon's just threatening the Cassante ever so much.
Not really a potential to dive if he gets level 2 here. Should do. And yeah, he'll be completely fine. So I think King doing a lot of things right here. Helps out mid a little bit, moves over, helps out his jungle, gets in bot to pick up the wave. And will safely be able to soak up some XP. We do see on the top side, the Alistar Varus pushing in aggressively. They're not in a position to dive the Jace right now, so like, hey, let's steal some camps away. And this will end up working out really favorably for Gideon. Given that he didn't manage to get the blue buff from the top side. So Canyon forced away here. And the thing with the Nocturne is your goal in every Nocturne game since the Champions release, which was a long time ago.
I mean,
goal in every Nocturne game since the beginning of time is to get level 6 as soon as possible. And this is definitely hamstringing that a good amount. Now, they will be respectful. The wave's getting pushed up, so they back away. And this is the point where you wonder if maybe they stayed a little too long, because you and Lehends are missing out on some farm here. So, a heavy commit to zone away Canyon.
It does feel like the Nocturne is very much behind the 8 ball and just very slow on his route. At the same time, though, Gideon had to take an aggressive route as going to stop a back here with an Ignite. feel like he could have just stunned him, but...
I think the Ignite's fine, because you don't have to, like, you get locked in the animation. I think you'd have to get in tower hit range for it, and then it sometimes get...
Also, the Ignite lasts a long time, so he can't just, like, immediately channel it afterwards.
Yeah. It's also one of those things where, like, how likely is it he's going to use... In a lane stop scenario where you're not diving, I don't think he's going to use it anytime soon. It's pretty low cooldown, so...
Harass Ignite.
True.
Amazing.
You know, we keep doing callbacks like the traditional old delivery. Back in the day when we had the masteries, and if your Ignite was on cooldown, you got extra stats. So people would just run into lane and ignite each other level 1.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Quite literally, yeah. Just run into each other and press Ignite. Good times. But not the times we're living in. We have other good things nowadays.
Yeah.
Such as Victor versus Orianna. The return. In a game 4 of a Fearless. Couple of control mages. Jhin Varus as well. Feels pretty traditional.
Jhin, that's the thing. I feel like any champions that came out after you started playing feel kind of new. Like, Jhin doesn't feel new, but he doesn't feel that old. But he is pretty old, you know?
I mean, he was, what, like 2014?
I think it was it was after that. I think it was like 2015, 16, something like that. Then again, I say that, and like Kai'Sa still feels like relatively new. She's been out for like 7 years or something.
I think it might have been longer than that. I think she was out before 2018. I don't know.
What, 2018 was 7 years ago?
Yeah, 2018 was 7 years ago. That's the thing.
Stop, Brendan.
Time is passing so fast.
It is. It is. Yeah, so something to take away from how this early game has panned out. Overall, Canyon hasn't really fallen behind that much except a little bit in XP, but generally keeping it close. Mid lane, though, Fish has been having a rough time into Chovy. And it looks like Gideon's moving over to try and offer some assistance. But right now, that is the lane that is starting to bleed a little bit. And again, this is one of the things when you have a 2-carry composition. If one of your carries falls behind, it feels bad.
Yeah, it feels quite bad. Here is Zach. Love the Zach pick into this one because, you know, if they end up diving into you, if it's like Jace and Nocturne, I'm going to hold that thought as we have a bit of a fight here. Pull through the wall, but this is Keen with Grasp. It's
nice
a very nice knockback, and that's going to save him here. Oh, the flash forward and knocks in Duro. Down he goes. First blood over to Jiwoo just like that. Lahens, he puts Duro right back in his seat, puts him in his place, tells him to sit down. Part of the reason why we don't see Rel do very well into this Alistar.
I was going to say, though, Ruler's level 6.
I mean, just dodge. Yeah.
It's that easy.
There you go, just dodge. It's easy. And now Jiwoo, he's like, oh, maybe I can keep this guy down. Nope.
Yeah, Ruler was reloading, unfortunately. But yeah, just a great play from Lahens to set up there, and I love the synergy between Jiwoo and Lahens. Feels like the duo's been developing that a little bit. Now, Grubs will go over to Gen G. Ruler still has prio there, but I can see Nongshim moving over towards the Dragon. Duro was looking for another Ignite. It's not actually up, never mind. Unfortunate. I was thinking he was going for another one.
Yeah, he wanted to get his stats on cooldown, or he wanted to get his stats up by putting it on cooldown, but it's already on cooldown. Yeah, here we go.
The thing is, he gets locked in the Q animation, and it just gives the perfect window for Lahens to punish. Just a complete outplay from Lahens there. And then here, I do think he walked up a little bit too far and allowed the ult to happen. And yes, Ruler didn't connect the shots. Lahens just dodged, but it was still a little risky.
You know, Ox, nice dodge there. We were talking about Kai'Sa before. We were like, I think it was about 7 years ago. It was almost exactly 7 years ago. March 7th, 2018.
Wow.
So there you go. You're correct on that one.
It's nice to be right.
Yeah, it happens, you know, occasionally for you.
Whoa.
Jhin was 2016, so...
Hey, I said that one as well.
Yeah,
I
said 2014.
I'm spot on.
But you had 2 years, so you kind of like get a half right.
2016, which was what, like 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
Zach, I wanted to talk about it before. It's really good into these immobile carries, and this Victor really, really struggling. Finally gets an ability to press his flash, and he does. I'm not sure why he does, but at least he will get the follow-up flash out of Fisher. Meanwhile, we get a 1v1 here. Keen getting quite low, as maybe it was all just a bait for the Nocturne to come in,
nice
but
flash,
Kasante's got flash, and Kasante gets to do whatever he wants.
Keen's playing this lane well, very defensively, but you can see he's very much on the back foot in the matchup. But it's just a great gank from Gideon. You know, a lane we said was struggling, which was this mid lane, and you give a kill over to Fisher, the flash is down for Chovy, which allows like return ganks to punish. Definitely what Nongshim need in this one. And I think you look at the scoreboard, kill on Jiwoo, kill on Fisher. This is how you want a composition like this to start the game.
Absolutely. You know, the top laner's going even. That's fine. They're about even. The AD carries about even. You know, Ruler's been farming a little bit more.
And actually, this is something that Gideon's kind of been notorious for in the LCK Cup, is that if you get a slight advantage in the jungle, he will run away with it. We've seen him do it on like Sejuani, on Vi. He's 20 CS up on Canyon right now. He is very strong on this Zac. And yeah, I mean, everything lands. You know, the bounce house comes through. Chovy pressed R, but doesn't really get to play the game. I assume the gravity field, he dropped it very late. It might have been on cooldown before that. By the way, a good gank. But yeah, if you look, 20 CS lead between the junglers. Sunfire Cape already for Gideon. So even with that gank coming in, he's still really far ahead in that matchup. Yeah. And a whole level up.
And Zac only gets stronger, right? Like, his jump is going to get larger range. He's going to be more of a threat. There's more angles you have to worry about. And with Sunfire Cape, he's already a fast farmer. He gets more levels into his W. He's just farming even faster.
Also, I know I said that, like, you know, it's a 2-carry comp, you need 2 carries alive, yada, yada, yada.
Oh boy!
But if Jack jumps on if Zac jumps on Jin late, if Zac jumps on Jin later and he's a fed Zac, he will just 100-0 him without Jin able to do anything.
Absolutely,
he will smangle him.
That's why the Zac 5th pick is so strong, and that's why Red Side has a lot of strength in theory, but our teams don't seem to really play into that very often. So I'm really glad that Nongshim did this time around. Can even be good for peeling against the Nocturne if he's in that position. He probably won't be. Speaking of which, Nocturne trying to go in, as there you go. The bouncy caster, you're peeling for your Orianna. It's not going to work out very well, and there you go. The stun comes in for the Victor. This time pulling the Zac in is the Rel, but only able to get the 1 kill this time.
Yeah, good counterplay though coming out from Gen G, and on the back of this, they might look to get 6 grubs. I say might, because Gideon's healing off this camp. Zac notorious for a lot of healing, and Canyon is pretty low. They could actually contest this, potentially. Remember, Chovy has no mana right now. No mana, no ult.
He's just going for the kill. He's just like going in there. He's looking for Canyon. There's the TP. And so Nongshim kind of painfully, but they do at least pick up 2 grubs. But Genji got 4, so...
Yeah, but they stopped the extra point for the Fear Strength. They stopped the 6. I think it's pretty positive considering how the play started.
Yeah.
Do you want to look towards that dragon that is up on the map now, though? And we'll see the replay coming through. So just a nice counter engage after Chovy dodges everything. And the shockwave comes through, but I believe caught by the spell shield of the Nocturne. So it doesn't pull him away. And he just sticks on top of you. And definitely nice to get some good value, because that first Nocturne ult really didn't pay off when he went bot lane, but that one definitely what you're looking for.
He chose a better target this time, let's say.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, Orianna Varus every time for the Nocturne ult.
Not Kasante, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna say though, it's gonna feel uncomfortable, because at some point, if you dive into these carries and they're not isolated, they will just, you'll get bounce house. You're just not going to play the game for like a solid, like you have so many things that can just drag you off the target. And once that fear tether's broken, you're in no man's land.
That's why I like the Genji draft. They started with the Jace and then they ended up with Nocturne Jhin. And it's like, you've got a decent amount of poke and you have a lot of pick potential, dive potential with the Nocturne, but it kind of, you know, you needed damage eventually to deal with all the tanks. I feel like Nongshim really handled the draft very well, and the individual picks that were coming out, they always had an answer. And now they just have this massive front line that Genji don't really have a great answer for, outside of Chovy. And you see that they're trying to dive here on the Keen, but really just mainly getting space for Jiwoo.
The arrows, the Halo arrows from Jiwoo didn't hit, but if it did, he would have just taken tower aggro, so probably for the best. But yeah, you can see Nongshim kind of threatening, but not wanting to overcook, unless...
just going in. Here's the bounce castle once again. Stretching strikes utilized, but the follow-up is very slow, but there's the Chains of Corruption, and there you go.
Okay. I saw Drula coming down with ult, and I was like, is this too much? But no, they managed to get it and disengage.
And they give it to their carry, the Zac in the jungle.
Absolutely. So, good moves there from Nongshim, and it feels like it's not new in this game, but they really have been driving the pace in the series in whole, as a whole. It feels like they've been the ones making things happen. You have seen Gideon take part in these plays. In the meantime, Canyon is massively caught up in farm, so not to be outdone. He has worked hard to try and bring up the parity there.
Yeah, thinking about diving Cassante again. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. They do want this first turret, though. And with King getting low, even with Lahens here, they can at least siege the turret. Oh. Jiwoo, threatening.
I think he can win.
Oh, I don't know. No.
Caught the way
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that's going to deny the feats of strength from Nongshim.
Yeah, it's close, but doesn't manage to get it. And now it's going to come down to the neutral objectives, which they're both even on at 1 apiece. We have Herald up at a minute, Dragon up at 3, so look at those. But to be honest, I feel like feats of strength in their current state, not that crazy. And this is the play. I was kind of thinking, you know, they'd been a lot of their CC already, but I guess they still had the Zac ult, they still had the combo, they still had the Varus ult. I was a bit concerned about the Jhin coming down, but I think this front line is just too much for a Jhin to really do anything into. So. Yeah. Bit of a wrong read from me, but a right read from Nongshim.
You can see that Gideon, it looked like he wanted to go for Keen.
Yeah, there was that hesitation.
I think that Lahens was probably screaming like, no flash, because Dura at the time didn't have his flash. He has it now.
I've got some news for you, Brendan.
What's that?
Okay. 3 super bulky tanks on the enemy team, right? What item?
Oh no!
What item would you... It's not a tank kill, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he's going to do the thing where he goes Collector and then he eventually goes for a Last Whisper item, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to rush LDR first or anything, but I just think a lot of people will see Cassante, Zac, Alistair, and then they'll see Jhin with Collector, and they'll be like, yeah, it ain't happening.
Of course.
It's never happening, bro.
It's not.
How many times do you think he has to reload to kill?
He's gonna fumble the bullets before he's able to do that.
He'll drop them on the floor.
Yeah. He's gonna trip over them. He's like tumbling down the stairs. Poor Jhin, man.
Poor Jhin.
I mean, you're not able to really shoot through this front line, though. That's really for sure. I'm not sure how he's going to deal damage to the backline either. We have a TP coming in as Zac, very fed. The Paranoia is going to break up this fight as the Cassante has to tank up a punch. But I love the angle here on a ruler. Gets into a really rough spot, but the engage from Duro is quite nice. But yeah, look, trying to hit the backline. They're not quite able to do so. And down will go Duro. You see that Lahens and Jiwoo quite low themselves, but Kingin and Gideon still alive and thriving. They stay alive for so long. Nobody can kill these tanks. They both get stunned somehow. Toby, he is going to flash away from the cube, but it's still going to give a shutdown over to Fisher. Was it really worth it in the end? As yes, he did get the kill, but here comes Nongshim on the chase, looking for more.
Oh, the Jhin!
Yeah. What do you do as Jhin in his act?
He's run out of bullets!
You die!
He's fumbling them! And Nongshim...
He's starting to cry!
Nongshim with a huge team fight! Once again, it feels like they're the ones who know how to play the early game, and these fights have been so much more crisp as the series has gone on. This one, so I think the TP from Kingin is very bold, but I love the confidence. He flies in and he does, this is peak Cassante. You dive into 3 people on the backline and you just drag the AD carry out, and Jhin is petrified. In the meantime, Juro gets a good ult, good damage on a Jiwoo, but you see Fisher moves in to actually block the Jhin ults initially, which is really nicely played. And Keen gets focused down by that Orianna ult, which I think is a great move. You don't have to get 4 people with it, just get 1 viable target. But then Chovy here, with a bit of an outplay on Jiwoo, but even then, that's not enough. They just can't cut through this front line yet, if ever.
I I mean, the Zac, it was just kind of unkillable, as now Rel ult's going to be used onto an ulting Alistar.
Yeah, he was like 2 seconds on his ult at the start of that play, and I think maybe they thought it was still not available.
Oh, Chemtech Soul.
It just came up. Chemtech Soul,
you know,
with this Nongshim comp is actually insane.
It's actually really
Genuinely,
good.
It is the best case I'm not going to say that it's the best Soul you want with this comp. That's not true, but if you're going to pick a comp to have Chemtech Soul,
yeah,
it's the one with like 3 Gigatanks. And you have a Jhin.
It's the Jhin. I mean, he doesn't do damage already.
I can't wait from the 4th shot, like Gideon at like 30% HP, and it just not kill him.
It goes down to 27% HP.
27.8, let's be clear, you know? I mean, I think Mountain Soul would be even more insane for this comp. But, you know, I digress. It's a good Chemtech angle. K'Sante gonna love that one. Oh, ult comes in. There's a Giga Cone.
Yeah. And, I mean, they're gonna go together. There's another Giga Cone. Can he get the angle?
Wait, he's in the tower! Oh, my God! Oh, my God, he got Giga Coned!
All right, end the game. We're done. Go next.
Oh, my Lord!
Go next. It's over.
You know what, Brendan? I finally found someone who hates Mega Blast Cones more than you. And it is Canyon right now.
Today.
Oh my God, that's such a tilter. Nongshim are looking great.
Yeah, I mean, I said it as a joke, but I think the game might actually just be over.
It seems like, dare I say it, this game seems won for Nongshim at this point.
And it's going to be their 4th win in a row.
Wait.
Not actually, but
okay.
They've been in positions to win.
This is so funny, actually.
Ah, yes.
여기.
Here.
Boing?
살았어.
I got him.
안녕하세요.
I got that one. Said hello at the end. And then Jhin getting back. This is, dude. This is not the Jhin game. This is not it.
They didn't see the R5 Zac pick coming, I guess.
I love how Canyon must have dove in and be like, guys, there's no Alistar, K'Sante, or Zac nearby. I can't get bounce housed. Little did he know.
Yeah, little did he know.
Little did he know. They're going for Atakan. TP committed, but I don't even think Genji can. They're not even bothering to approach. I mean, this is a 2-item Blade King Rage Blade. Varus shredding this.
Yeah, I mean, they were never going to be able to approach this. So the TP's a bit wasted, and now Kingen might sheepishly just run up to the top lane to catch the wave. But it's still a big win for Nongshim, right? They're going to get the Otacon, and they're in a position to use it. Because it's not old Otacon where you get to dive basically for free, but still get to dive really well.
Oh, and they certainly are a composition that will die. My only concern is, can they even die?
Well, I guess we'll find out. It's a big Rel ultimate to come in, but the damage not quite there. Finally, beginning to land just a bit. Gideon goes into his passive for the first time, as it looks like, in fact, Genji will get a decent amount of value from these Otacon resets, as in goes King in, the knockback once again. Fantastic and crisp. Fisher, no! Don't do it. He is going to pull the Jhin over once again, as they're doing negative damage to Kingen, as Kingen assassinating the Jhin, trying to at least. He does eventually get withdrawn.
Well, the answer is yes, they can die, you know.
Yeah.
I was thinking they're very tanky. Would they even be able to go? Yes, they definitely can. I'm glad they could answer that swiftly for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they can run out of health. This kind of feels like that previous game when I said, can invest his health move? And then literally 7 seconds later,
yeah,
the Kingen died. A little bit crazy, this one. A little bit hectic. Some flubs. It was actually a phenomenal flash from Keen there to read Lahens. And then it got a bit scrappy. A lot of tower hits coming in. Low health bars. Jhin actually doing things. Collector, which works on low health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collected.
And then Fisher with an unfortunate flash here. Keen is just clean. I'm going to be honest. No notes for him. He's been playing well. Ruler is not having a fun. Look at this 4th shot. Boom! Oh. Keen's like, I got it. Don't worry, little bro.
Yeah. They don't have Chemtech Soul yet.
Yeah.
We'll see what damage it does when they have Chemtech Soul.
It's only a 1-item K'Sante, 1.5 item K'Sante as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Ruler did go the collect it, and then he's immediately like, I need armor pen, percentage pen.
Yes, he figured that out, and so he'll be getting that Mortal Reminder any second.
Yeah.
But is it enough? I do think that Nongshim did not have to give over 1,000 gold to Genji. That wasn't very clean.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, Brendan. If we're gonna make a list of things Nongshim didn't need to do in this series, we could fill a book. Okay?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things they didn't need to do.
Is that one even top 5? Probably not.
We have a lot of things that I'm sure the coaches reminded them that you guys really didn't need to do this.
Yeah.
But, you know, Nongshim do as Nongshim do. And they've managed to secure the 3rd dragon, one away from Chemtech Soul. And for those who, we are on the 25.S1.3. Chemtech Soul has been buffed. It's now 13% increased damage and damage reduction under half HP. And especially with this comp, good value. So I feel like when you're already this far behind, losing that as well just feels so bad. When, I mean, look at Jin's items. Yeah, I mean, you need the healing reduction, but it means you have less armor pen. But that just doesn't feel inspiring. I don't see that on my Jin and think, wow. Okay, actually, to be honest, this is kind of unfair on the build. It's just a Jin in general. I see a Jin into these tanks, and I'm like...
Yeah, he was able to do damage when they dove the turret and got 3-man Rel ulted.
Yes. I mean, I think the tower probably did more.
He slowed them.
True. I mean, if they're like less... If they're less than 5% HP, he will collect them.
Yeah.
You know? And you'll get
true.
a little bit of extra gold that you can put towards items, which I've heard helps you do more damage. Remains to be seen, though, for Jin.
Yeah, we're not sure about that yet. We need more data. I
also think it's an unfortunate game when, like, you know, you need to kill the Orianna and the Varus, and your divers, your Nocturne, your Rel, are combined 1-7-1. Yeah. It's only a 3.5k gold lead, which isn't even the most insane goal lead we've seen in this series, but it just feels so hard to come back from here. Only Keen. Keen is, you know what? Keen with his 2 gold bounty, 3 gold bounty, sorry. He's doing his best.
How dare you?
Wait, 6 gold bounty, okay.
He's climbing.
He's climbing up
The game has recognized his efforts.
Yes.
Thank you, game. Yeah, I mean, this... I feel like Nongshim as well, they did a really good job of identifying early on that, hey, Nocturne's probably the only issue that our carries will have. And if we
shut
can
him out of the game,
put him out of the game very early on, it's just kind of over. Because what is Jace going to do? What is... I mean, we talked about Jin a lot. Like,
the thing is, I actually think...
Victor, can he do it alone? No.
If it was damage Jace... Nah, never mind. I was thinking, like,
no, I don't
like
think
at least you can poke, but they're just gonna jump on you, so it doesn't work.
Jin value? Actually rooting him, and now the follow-up comes in. The cats here onto the Orianna will be huge. As long as they get it, looks like they will.
There's the Jace value. Okay, guys, are you gonna look towards Baron? Probably. Kingan's getting ready to TP in. That is one of the carries down, but it's 40 seconds and then he can TP, and Genji are not going to do anything.
Yeah.
You know... Okay, I'm going to say it. I get it, because I think going Baron there is extremely risky.
Yeah.
But the problem is, when you look at it, okay, they've been Seeker's Arm Guard, but Fisher's about to finish Zhonya's. You didn't get Fisher's Flash. You didn't even get TP from Kingen, right? This sort of play, it's fine for you not to get Baron off it, but you really would have hoped to get a bit more. And the end result is, like, this is gold. And don't get me wrong, like, gold's important, but you didn't achieve much more than just getting a bit of gold onto your team. So, again, it's nice. You would have hoped for a bit more. You would hope to be able to transition, because the game state hasn't drastically changed as a result of that. Did finish Keen's 3rd item, though. That's something.
Yeah. You can see that Kenyon was purposely trying to hand the item over because he went experimental.
Yeah.
Exploit.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think going the tanky build for Jace is right, because if you don't, you're just going to get one shot. But also, like, these shock blasters don't hit. You know, if you hit, like, a key shock blast on Geo and you are, like, the Thaldi Jace, that's where I could see, like, oh, you know, things are difficult. But
we've seen the angle here, Ox, for the Jin to do damage. Double Black Cleaver.
Wow. And then now he's going to Z-Light him.
Yeah. It's possible if we attack enough, they will die.
Once Gideon gets Spirit Visage, and if they get this Chemtech Soul, I think he just becomes immortal. The thing is,
but
as well,
he's only one blob.
Chovy's not going Void Staff yet. He's gone Seekers because he's like, I don't want to get bounce housed and one shot by Orianna. But
they
now,
have vision on this.
You know what? I'm not sure Nongshim mind too much. And Gen G were committed so hard to bot side.
Yeah.
They're like, buff Chemtech Soul, we can't let them get it.
Yeah. They're just so out of position here. Gen G, you gotta get in, but you can't.
Too late.
Not gonna happen. Lehens might have to pay for it, but no, he doesn't even seem like he will. They want to punish, and Lehens will give his life for it. But one Zac shot onto Zac is not enough. As Sivu trying to turn this one around, they keep Nongshim around. And now Genji trying to force them into a fight, but Duro gets bounced out. So a huge amount of damage comes out. The Shockwave catches the back line. And now you've got Fisher and Gideon right on top of both of them. Genji just reeking of desperation here, trying to get over and punish. And they are the ones that get punished for this fight. And they're still chasing Chovy here. I mean, it's Mega Cone
the
Zac.
TP flank?
It's Mega Cone Zac. He didn't even need the TP. And there you go, it's an ace.
They clean up, they get the Baron. They might be looking to push an end, but I'm not sure they can get it in time, so I think they're going to back away on this one. They may just look for the inhibitor tower. I think maybe not even going to go for that. They want the dragon.
The Chemtech Soul.
But huge fight from Nongshim, and I think Gen G, there was definitely a point where you could have backed away on that one.
Absolutely.
But they just ended up committing to the bit, right? They're like, hey, this might be our best chance we can get. Lehens is low, we're gonna pop the Jhin ultimate. Lehens is like, guys, go on without me. And then Canyon dives in, but this Nocturne's so weak. Duro comes in, and honestly, Duro gets good value with the ult, but the follow-up's just not quite there.
Yeah, look at the peel as well. Like,
yeah.
That's what I was talking about. The Zac is huge in these moments.
And then Gideon, this Shockwave into the knock-up, and then the double slam is beautiful play, honestly. Gideon's been so good on the Zac. And Jhin just can't do anything. And now they're gonna get Chemtech Soul. If you thought it was hard to kill them before,
yeah,
it just got a lot harder. It just got a lot harder. But guys, do not worry, do not fret. Ruler has nearly finished his rapid fire cannon.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's got it! He's got it, guys!
Oh, he's got it, okay.
Guys, this is what they're waiting for.
The spike has been hit.
No IE, no Void Staff, doesn't matter, we have the rapid fire.
Yes.
Guys, Kingen is not taking much damage right now. And he's not even below half HP.
Yeah, I mean, Chovy doesn't do damage to him, King doesn't do damage to him, Ruler doesn't do damage to him. And it's not just him, it's Gideon too. And there you go. I'm not sure about that one. Nice Sonya's, I guess. And the follow-up, pretty big, although Nongshim are going very deep for this one. And eventually, we talked about this, eventually you can kill them, although Duro is going to be traded out.
Oh my god, that's a big ult.
Yeah. You can see the health bars are very slowly beginning to fall. Okay, Kingen says we can win. We're still going. We're still sieging.
That one that threaded the needle on Jiwoo made me very nervous. He should not be tanking Jhin ults, but it feels like Gen G have to do so much work to kill just the Alistar.
It took them forever.
It took them so long.
But they did it.
Yeah, their base is in shambles, and now Nongshim can just reset and head top, and the Super Minion is going to do the work for them. And the thing is, they didn't actually really get any additional summoners off the back of that. Like, Jiwoo bit his in the last fight, so it won't be long before that's back up. I think that's a big reason why this fight felt a little scrappy for Nongshim, because they were down sums. This was a great reaction from Chovy, honestly. I think him and Keen have been playing these fights really well, but they're just so far behind. They focus down on Lehens, they take him out, and then the Arcane Storm for Victor just actually doing so much damage. And then this shot, look at this next one. Oh, that should not be hitting your Varus. But yeah, it's still okay. They're still too bulky, way too bulky.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like at this point in time, Gen G have to thread the needle multiple times in order to actually win. So, you know, we saw a little example of it there.
I mean, look at Jiwoo's items now. He's 4 items, and he has a bonus Chain Vest, and he has Terminus and Wit's End, so he is legitimately tanky now. Like, he actually won't go down easily. And, like, is your Hex Plate, Black Cleave, and Nocturne gonna kill him? No.
No.
He's nearly got Flash Up as well. Oh. Lehens?
I think Len's just having fun.
He's having a great time.
I think he's sending a message, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, what up? Nongshim. I moved over to Nongshim. I knew we'd be better than you guys.
Imagine Lehens. I mean, after this game, it comes to the final one, but Lehens pulling the reverse sweep on his old team, his old teammates. You can tell he's hyped. You can tell he's hyped. Because this game looks, dare I say, as good as done.
Yeah.
Dangerous words to use with Nongshim today, but
you know, they've been through a lot of adversity, right?
They were just calibrating how to destroy Nexuses. Okay?
It has only made them stronger. The adversity they have had to go through in this game,
They've
this
battled.
series.
They've battled.
They battled harder than GENG.
Anyone who's eaten the really, really spicy Nongshim noodles will know this adversity, right? Yes, it hurts, but you come out a stronger person.
Yeah, exactly. And Nongshim have done exactly that.
Absolutely.
Every game they've come out with so much to learn from. Even the game that they won.
If losing is improving, they improved a lot in those first two games.
Exactly. Whereas GENG, you know, they won the first game. They won the second game, kind of.
Just about.
But it's been a big mess, to say the least.
And now Baron up in 20. They did get that top outer tower, which was up for a very long time, Nongshim, on that last push. But for now, are looking to just deny area away from the Baron. And there's two problems. So firstly, you have this Jace, who's not like a Camille, like we had in the earlier games, not as good as a threat on the flank. And secondly, you don't really have the deep wards this time. So I think a lot of the problems in previous games were solved by Keen just TP flanking. They don't have that tool in their wheelhouse in this one.
Yeah. Well, GENG are gonna have to send it one way or another as the Baron was unleashed. Here comes Duro looking for that front line. Fisher should not be frontlining, but eventually he should be okay. Flashes away. And they're just trying to fight front to back now, catching Keen out, but the damage is not quite there. You know, Nongshim tried to turn, but it's like they tripped over their own feet while it was happening. The paranoia obviously not helping them very much.
Yeah. I feel like if GENG stalled any more, then maybe they decouple the Elder and the Baron, but it looks like the Baron's going to go down, Elder's still in a minute.
Well, they're getting in there, but there's the knock-up on a Jovi. Follow-up knock-up. The bouncy house is beginning. In goes the Zac, and Jovi doesn't have flash anymore. Down will go Keen. I think this is just the nail in the coffin. Ruler.
Look at Jin!
He's fumbling the bullets. He's tripped over his own feet.
He's trying to reload. Look at the damage.
Oh, no. He nearly maybe chipped away at the shield.
Wait, Canyon, don't die to the crowds. He has to defend the base. Recall, Canyon. You can do it. Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! I don't think he wins this.
No, I don't think so.
He's got his little puppy to help him. His little no. The
all right.
disrespect auto.
We're going to game 5, and I didn't think it was possible, but the one-hit curse.